Today, I'm putting Narwhal's brand new Flow model up against 5 different cleaning tests to see how it stacks up. This model comes with some brand new innovations like direct water and drainage hookups, and this. Welcome to Bad Tech, where I review the newest tech items, rank them out of 10, and let you know if they're really worth buying. Make sure to subscribe so you get notified next time one of my reviews go live. Narwhal's Flow model comes with all the basics that you'd expect out of a high-end robo vacuum mop combo. You have your base station with its dirty water clean bin. It has a 120-day vacuum bag and a slot to put Narwhal's cleaning solution. At first glance, the robot itself looks a ton like all of the rest of Narwhal's models, but that's really not the case here. This is the first one since the Z Ultra to come with dual RGB cameras. That means better obstacle avoidance and AI detection. It also has this really unique mopping system that isn't quite a roller brush, but is a nice change from those dual spinning tops that every other model comes with. I have not seen any other company have this style of mop before, and it's kind of like a continuous cleaning conveyor belt. It picks up a dirty mess. While it's working through the system, it cleans that part, takes out the dirty water, and gives you brand new fresh water while it's cleaning the ground. I did find this graphic kind of funny on Narwhal Flow's official product page. It's showing that the dual spinning mop heads just spread the mess, but then I'm like, Narwhal, you guys sell those still. You know that, right? Also interesting is this mop head is still able to extend out, cleaning within millimeters of walls. Now there is a lot more going on here, but I kind of want to get to more of the specs as we go through the tests. Now we're going to put the Flow through 5 different tests, which are going to check everything from obstacle avoidance to vacuum suction power, and even how well the mop really cleans up your floor. For each test, we're going to rank the Flow out of 10. Now this is going to be based on a few pieces of unique criteria based on the tasks that the device is performing for that test. Starting with test number 1, where we are checking its obstacle avoidance combined with the vacuum capabilities. For this, I have set up a complete obstacle course inside of my living room. We've also put things down such as cat hair, we have coffee grinds, and we even have loose rice. There's 2 ways we'll deduct points for this test: whether it actually hits any obstacles, and if it misses anything it should have cleaned up. So through the app, I've set the vacuum to only clean the living room. This way we don't have to worry about it wandering off for this test. Okay, let's see how it does. That was actually crazy impressive. Starting with the obstacle avoidance, where it literally only hit 2 objects. It barely touched the stuffy, so pushed it a little bit, and it barely touched the fire remote. It was actually the side brush that swung and just hit the remote a little bit. Otherwise, did not touch any other objects. But we are gonna have to deduct 0.5 because of it still making contact. Now, as for the cleanup on the floor, this was pretty impressive. I do still see some coffee grinds and a few grains of rice. I'm gonna grab a broom, sweep it up, and let's see what it left behind. And this is about all we have left here. Pretty much next to nothing was left. Just, what is that, 10 grains of rice and a tiny bit of coffee grinds. So for that, we're gonna have to deduct another 0.5, and that gives it a total of 9 out of 10. Because of the dual RGB cameras and the sensors that are built into it, this can sense super low objects, and that's why it didn't even go a little bit into the cord. And this is a great thing, because if you don't have time to pick every little object off the ground before starting your vacuum, it's gonna save you a lot of time and a lot less worry that you're gonna have to get it de-stuck at some point. But one other really interesting thing, if you go into the app when it's done cleaning, you might see these little icons, and these actually represent hazards on your floor. And in some case, it is crazy accurate, even detecting one of the cables that I had on the ground. Time for test number 2, and this is the coffee grind carpet test. And how we're gonna do it is I have a brand new little area rug here. I did try to get a decent size one. So right here, I have a cup of coffee grinds. And what we're gonna do is put this on our carpet. Inside the app, instead of having the RoboVac clean the whole living room, I'm gonna use the feature where you can just drag a box around a spot and have it vacuum just this carpeted area. I also have intensive carpet mode checked. And what this means is it will go over any rug or carpet twice, horizontally and vertically. And when it's done, we'll be testing it out of 10 based on how much coffee grinds I can shake out and sweep up. So that was an interesting test. I don't know if you noticed, but the Robo Vacuum kept like jerking forward just an inch and then stopping. I don't know if that was a cleaning strategy, but it did miss some noticeable spots on this little area rug. So it missed almost a complete strip near the edge and even some portions a little closer to the middle. However, the parts where it did go over, it looks like it got a good portion of the coffee grind. Let's shake out this little area rug and see how much is left. So besides those major spots, it did a pretty good job. And remember, this does have 22,000 PAs of suction, but it just seemed to miss a few spots, which was the unfortunate part. Now this was a cup to start, and now check this out. I did have this on super powerful suction as well. So this was the best carpet settings that it offers. And I would say it cleaned up about 90%. Look at how much is left. Not much at all. So by that logic, we have to give this a 9 out of 10 on carpet cleaning. For test number 3, we are checking out the anti-tangle technology and the ability for it to clean in corners. Before we get to that, let's first go over Narwhal's anti-tangle technology. So Narwhal actually has 2 types of anti-tangle technology, starting with their brand new side brushes. If you don't know, these side brushes are known to get tangled from time to time. So what Narwhal has done is add this hinge here, and these will actually reverse to release the tension of hair and allow it to get sucked up inside the main unit. This works on both the left and the right side and should save you a little bit of time from having to pop these off and pull hair off them. The other anti-tangle is their roller brush right here. Now this is their floating roller brush. This design essentially allows the hair to work its way to the end where eventually it gets sucked up inside the vacuum canister. This works extremely well, and I've been super impressed with their anti-tangle technology throughout the models that I've reviewed. Now what you can see on this model is this one side brush which actually has this really long head, and this is going to help get things out of corners that other models can't. Well, apparently. So for this test, we have some synthetic hair here, which we're going to be chopping up and placing around the room. Some longer strands, some shorter ones, and we'll also be putting some rice in various corners and along edges to see how well this is able to pick it up. And then of course, ranking it out of 10 based on those 2 factors. So let's go over the results because I have a lot to say here. Starting with our Robo Vacuum itself, because it actually didn't have a ton of tangle. It had a little bit of hair left in the roller brush, which I believe over time would have cleared itself out. And it did get some tangles around these wheels, which actually isn't that unusual with any of the Robo Vacuums. These are 2 of the spots where you still get hair tangles that I find not a lot of companies have figured out how to avoid. But here's where I had a bit of a small issue. Check this out down here. As you can see, we have a bit of a mess. This is a lot of coffee grinds and rice. Let me tell you how we got this. So the Robo Vacuum seemed to have been full, but I had run it through a dust collection process twice because I wanted it to get sucked up into that 120-day bag. But when I flipped it over outside of the machine, it was stuffed full of coffee grinds and rice, like it wasn't actually being collected into the 120-day bag. And this caused everything to spill over the floor, and I had to sweep it up manually. Now, I'm not sure if the cause of this was the coffee grinds are super light and was having trouble being picked up by the vacuuming process, but for whatever reason, it just did not get sucked into the base station bag. I'm gonna leave this as a one-off since I haven't had this issue before with any of their other vacuums, or to be honest with this model since I've used it, but just something I wanted to note in the process. As for cleaning up the corner, it did a pretty great job. We had a little bit of coffee grinds in the area, but it's so light that it gets blown around by the vacuum, and this causes it to leave a bit of a mess sometimes. In terms of the anti-tangle technology, I do have to deduct a point just because the wheels were such a mess. And with the corner test, I will deduct half a point as well, leaving this at an 8.5 out of 10. For test number 4, we are trying out that brand new mop system. So what I've done is I've cleaned my floor up where I'm going to spill these 2 coffee shots on. So that way we know it's clean prior to, and we want to see if this system is spreading the mess, or if so, how much and how well of a job it does cleaning up something simple like spilled coffee. So we're gonna do 1 shot right here. Ooh, that's a lot more than I thought. And then we're gonna do 1 shot right by the edge to make sure it's cleaning right up to that baseboard. But before we start the cleaning, let's take a quick look at what this brand new mopping system is. So here it is, and you can see why I call it more of a conveyor belt rather than a roller brush. So there you can see it looks like a flattened roller brush essentially, and it just easily clips back into place. And so while this is rotating around, it's self-cleaning itself and pulling the dirty water out. So that definitely cleaned up all the coffee. Now let's give it a wipe while it's still wet and see if there's any residual. It's a little dry, so I'm gonna have to use some cleaning solution. So definitely a tiny bit of residual, but I would say majority cleaned up. And one thing that did really impress me is that mop extendable head, which was like, I think they say it's around 5 millimeters close to walls that it can get. And yeah, it got any coffee looking mess right away from that wall. In terms of edge cleanliness, I'm giving this a 5. And in terms of cleanup, I'm gonna have to give it a 4 out of 5. Now for test number 5, where we're gonna put its downward pressure to the test. I have a streak of mustard and a streak of ranch in my kitchen that I made sure hardened a little bit before we did this test. It's not an insane spill, probably a normal amount you'd get with a household mess. This Robo Mop is supposed to put down 1.22 kilograms of downward pressure evenly, which makes sense because of the design. And there's one other thing we're gonna test at the same time, and that involves this broom right here. So we're gonna put this right across our entranceway where the RoboVac needs to go to get to the kitchen. And this way see if that new lifting ability is going to be able to get it over this hump. So there is no visual mess left, but let's give it a little spray and see if we come up with anything. I mean, pretty damn good. I smell a little bit of ranch on there. I think most impressive of this last mopping test was the fact that it was able to get over that broom. That was crazy impressive, and that new lift ability is a bit of a game changer. As for the ground, there is no visible mess. It is not sticky. Did the actual paper towel smell a little bit like ranch? Yes, so there was definitely some residue. Now you can get this to go over it 2-3 times more if you want it to be even cleaner. Remember, these mops never do a perfect job, but it was able to get the complete mess off despite it sitting there for a while. In this category, I'm gonna have to give it an 8 out of 10. One extra bonus of the complete base station models is the base station not only cleans and dries the mop head, but it also heats things to a specific temperature to avoid any potential bacteria. So we're gonna let the mop head go through its cleaning process here, pull the machine out, take a look at it, see how dry it is, and see if there's any residual mess on that mop. So we got our unit right here, and I have to say, it is remarkably clean. Check that out. It looks pretty much brand new. And you have to remember, I've been using this for a few weeks now, so I am super impressed. And yes, it is also dry, so you're not having a wet texture to it. So big bonus there, because there's nothing worse than a Robo vacuum mop that doesn't clean its mop head well. And yeah, this one seems to do a pretty good job. So like I said at the beginning of the video, they do also have a model of the Flow that allows for direct hookups. Basically, all you're doing is you're connecting a water line to the back of the machine, and then also adding a drainage line where all that gunky water goes directly inside of. This model's a lot smaller because it doesn't require those 2 big water tanks inside. They say you can hook it up yourself. I have no experience doing that, so make sure you look into that more if you decide to get that one. As for price, the regular Narwhal Flow is gonna run you $1,500, where the one with the direct lines is going to be $1,600. However, as of the making of this video, they are $200 off both models, so you can get it as low as $1,300. And also second Prime Day is coming up, so I'm expecting there to be some deals on it then too. Our total score for the Narwhal Flow is 43.5 out of 50. And really one reason why I love Narwhal's models is because they have some of the best anti-tangle technology. That's why I say if you're a pet owner, I have 2 cats and a dog, this is a great brand to go with because there's a lot lower chance that any hair gets tangled up. Combine that with the 120-day bag where you're not having to constantly empty it, it's pretty sweet to have. That new roller system also really impressed me on this model, especially with how close it gets to walls. It's able to go in one straight line and get the whole ledge instead of having to do the smart swing that some of their other models had to do. I can definitely say without a doubt, I recommend this if you're looking for a pretty top of the line Robo Mop vacuum combo. The price definitely reflects that, and I can say without a doubt, they did a great job building enough features to make it worth it. Like always, I've included all the links down below if you want to check it out. I'll see you next week.